Hi, and welcome to my series, Days of Wonder, where I'll be doing mini abstract realism experiments. This series is dedicated to curiosity, play, and artistic discovery. Each weekly video focuses on a small abstract realism study, where I'll test different mediums, textures, and techniques or materials while incorporating realistic subjects. The goal is not perfection, but experimentation, creative growth, and sharing the journey through weekly reels and YouTube videos. If you are into abstracts and also like realism, or just like to watch a creative process unfold, this series is for you. I'm working on an A4-sized wooden canvas today. I've already prepared with a coat of gesso and soft light pink acrylic background. I thought the pink would create a nice warm glow underneath all the layers we're going to build on top. For my realistic subject, I'll be using the sunflower reference photo. Sunflowers always have such a cheerful personality, and I thought they would work beautifully against a more abstract background. Before I start creating, let me quickly show you some of the materials I'll be using. I have palette paper for mixing paint, some water, and extra clean water for inks and washes. I have Mod Podge, although gel medium would work just as well as long as it dries clear. I've got an old soft brush for applying the adhesive, a spray bottle with water, paper towels, and a few extra tools that may or may not make an appearance as we go. One thing you'll notice throughout this series is that I don't always know exactly where a piece is going to end up. Sometimes the materials decide that for me. For my collage papers, I have a mixture of things. Some papers were bought and already have beautiful floral designs and patterns on them. Others I made myself using paint, splatters, texture, and even a toilet roll for printing. Then I have my favorite little basket, filled with collected papers, recycled packaging, book pages, scraps, and random bits I've saved over time. I honestly love digging through this basket because you never know what interesting piece might find a home in your artwork. I've also mixed a soft blue-gray acrylic color. This is going to be an important color today because it will help soften some of the collage elements and tie everything together. Now we're about 2 minutes into the process and it's time to start tearing papers. One thing I always remind myself when creating collage backgrounds is not to overthink it. Tearing creates much softer and more natural edges than cutting with scissors, and it helps everything blend together better. As I'm arranging these pieces, I'm repeating some of the papers in different areas of the canvas. This is a really useful collage tip. If you use the same paper only once, it can feel disconnected from the rest of the composition. But when you repeat it in multiple places, it creates a sense of unity and helps the artwork feel more cohesive. I'm applying everything with Mod Podge and gradually building layers. Some papers overlap, some disappear partially under others. I'm not trying to cover every inch of the canvas. I actually want some breathing room between the elements. At this stage, I'm mostly focused on creating visual interest rather than worrying about the final image. This is one of my favorite parts of abstract work because there are no rules. It's about exploitation and seeing what happens when different textures and patterns react with each other. I find that collage backgrounds often tell little stories of their own. Every scrap came from somewhere and had a previous purpose before becoming part of an artwork. Now that the collage layer is developing nicely, I'm sketching in 3 loosely drafted birds in the background. The reason I'm doing this now is because I want the collage to peek through the birds. Instead of painting solid shapes, I'll allow some of the beautiful papers underneath to remain visible. This creates another layer of depth and keeps the abstract side of the piece active. I don't need these birds to be perfect. They're really serving as supporting elements that help guide the eye around the composition. Next, I'm taking my soft blue-gray paint and working around the birds and around sections of the collage. The color is acting almost like a filter over everything. Sometimes collage papers can become visually overwhelming because there are so many colors and patterns competing for attention. By adding this blue-gray color, I'm knocking back some of that intensity and helping everything feel more connected. At this point, I'm pretty happy with the foundation, so it's time to introduce some acrylic inks. I start dripping color onto the surface and then spraying water to encourage the inks to move and flow. This is one of those moments where you have to let go of control a little bit. The water creates beautiful organic effects that are difficult to replace any other way. Some of the colors becomes more intense than I wanted, so I'm using a paper towel to blot and lift most of it back off again. And honestly, that's something I do quite often. Just because you add something doesn't mean it has to stay. Sometimes creating art is simply making decisions and then editing those decisions until the piece feels right. The yellow ink ended up brighter than I intended, so I'm using a stencil with dots and some white spray paint to soften those areas. The stencil breaks up the strong color while adding another layer of texture. I'm also bringing back some of the blue-gray paint to tone things down even further. One thing you'll probably hear me say a lot during this series is the word soften. I love contrast, but I also love harmony. And finding the balance between those two things is often where the magic happens. Next, I'm tearing some gold collage papers and adding a few extra details. I'm also using green spray paint through a music note stencil and adding some leaf patterns near the bottom of the piece. These little details might not stand out immediately, but they contribute to the overall feeling and atmosphere of the artwork. Abstract realism is often about layering subtle elements that reveal themselves over time. As the collage develops further, I'm adding more gold paper and a few final collage pieces. At some point, you simply have to decide that enough is enough. It can be tempting to keep adding forever, but every artwork needs moments of rest as well. Now I'm introducing a small star stencil with white spray paint. I thought the stars added a whimsical touch and supported the playful spirit of this experiment. So after that, I'm taking a humble toilet roll and some black acrylic paint and stamping circles around the composition. It's amazing how often simple household objects become art tools. The black circles add contrast and help draw the eye around the piece. If you didn't know what to do with your toilet rolls, now you know. With the collage finally complete and fully dry, it's time to bring in the realism element. I'm using graphite tracing paper to transfer my sunflower drawing onto the surface. I don't sketch it out even though I can, but I'm pretty lazy and I want to get to the good part. To establish the image quickly, I'm using acrylic paint markers to block in the sunflower and stem shapes. You could absolutely paint the states directly if you prefer, but I find this method helps me visualize everything before committing to paint. And now we arrived at the realism portion of today's experiment. When painting flowers, I like to begin with the darker values first. This gives me a framework to build on and helps me understand where the shadows belong. While some of those layers are drying, I move over to the stems and leaves. Then I gradually return to the petals, building lighter yellows and highlights. Sunflowers are such a fun subject because they contain so many variations of yellow, gold, orange, and brown. The challenge is making them feel bright and vibrant without losing dimension. As I continue painting, the flowers slowly begin to emerge from the abstract background. And that's really what I love about abstract realism. The realistic subject gives viewers something recognizable to connect with, while the abstract elements leave room for imagination and interpretation.
Look ahead, the sea is calm, and I know we've been through a lot, but just wait. Wait for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore.
Around this stage, I take some of my blue-gray paint and carefully paint around the parts of the sunflower. This helps define their edges and separate them from the busy background. Sometimes a small adjustment like this can make a huge difference in readability. Now comes a completely new adventure for me. I've never used gold leaf on a project before. Since I didn't have proper gold leaf adhesive, I'm experimenting with regular glue and hoping for the best. And honestly, that's exactly what this series is about. Not knowing everything, trying things anyway. Being curious enough to see what happens. I'm applying glue to selective highlighted areas on the petals, where I think the gold leaf will catch the light nicely. Once the glue is ready, I carefully apply the gold leaf and see how it responds. Some parts work beautifully, some parts are a little unpredictable. But that's part of the fun. Every experiment teaches us something. What started as a wooden panel, some scrap papers, paint, and curiosity has transformed into something completely unique. This sunflower experiment will be available in my shop, and as each new Days of Wonder project is completed, those pieces will also be available for purchase for anyone who falls in love with one along the way. I hope you'll join me each week as we explore new materials, techniques and textures and creative ideas together. This goal isn't perfection, the goal is wonder. So if you'd like to experiment, play, learn, and discover alongside me, make sure to subscribe and come back for the next episode of Days of Wonder. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next experiment.